Hey guys, this is Andrew, and today we're going to be talking about if the new iPhones are worth it. Worth is subjective, people. Worth is relative, worth is dependent. There's a lot of different things worth is. But sorry, today I intentionally kind of clickbaited you. We're not going to be going all over the changes from the iPhone 10 to the 10s Max. Why? Because you know already, okay? I know how many of these videos you guys watch. I can see which videos get more clicks than the others. You already know about the improved cameras, the improved battery life, the improved displays. They don't ship with fast chargers. We get it. We don't need to dive into all that. Today's video is primarily about this question that we get very, very often here at Tailosive Tech. Is it worth upgrading from this? Should I upgrade from this? Should I go from 6S to 7? Should I go from 7 to 10S? Should I go from 8 to 10? Is it worth it from 10 to 10S? We always get these types of questions, and the reason I intentionally wanted you guys to think that this was going to be a breakdown of upgrading from 10 to 10S Max is because it's you guys who I'm trying to talk to. The people who are always asking the worth questions. Is it worth upgrading from this to this? There is no always one right answer for everyone. There is no easy yes or no answer for all of you, because 99% of the time, anytime you tell me what you want to upgrade to and is it worth upgrading to it, I don't know your backstory. I don't know what your money situation is. I don't know how much you're making per month. I don't know if the amount of money you have is worth spending on a brand new iPhone. Are those changes going to be worth it? There's always one underlining factor that I could always include, and that is any iPhone that's newer that you want to upgrade to. If money's not a factor, why not upgrade, right? A lot of the time it's people saying, should I upgrade from an iPhone 7 to a 10 or a 7 to a 10s? And I'm like, sure, why not? Why are you asking me? You get a phone with more features. What are you missing out on? Just upgrade. I don't care. But the difference is, depending on who's asking, you could be making $1,000 a month. You could be making $5,000 a month. I don't know you. I don't know your financial situation. And before you go commenting your worth questions, that doesn't mean that every time you ask if something is worth upgrading to, you need to tell me your monthly income. I'm not interested in that. You don't need to tell me that. I'm just saying the question itself that we're constantly getting in live streams and in videos is a flawed question. It's not enough information for me to give you a definitive statement, because we've been talking about this over on our Twitch streams for a while now, but I'll give you the analogy. Let's say Billy over here works 10 hours a week at a fast food job, okay? He's not making that much money. If Billy asks me, should I upgrade from an iPhone 7 to an iPhone 10s? I'm probably gonna tell him, no, you need to stick with your iPhone 7 for now and look around for a job, find something that's a little bit better paying so that you can, I don't know, move out of your parents' house, have a car, have a driver's license, and be able to support yourself, and then you can start worrying about smartphone purchases. Now, if Tommy over here is a business owner who makes $100,000 a year, and he wants to know, hey, should I upgrade from an iPhone 7 to a 10s Max? I'm gonna tell Tommy, sure, yeah, you're gonna get an upgrade there. You're gonna get better battery life, better camera improvements, a really futuristic design, and I think overall, if you liked your iPhone 7, you'll probably like the iPhone 10s Max. So the answer is different dependent on the person. For Tommy, an $1,100 smartphone purchase really isn't setting him back that much. He uses his phone a lot for his business, he uses it for work, he goes on family vacations, so he wants to take videos and pictures here and there. He's wondering, should he up his camera quality? Does he want life to be easier? Does he want a battery life that lasts more throughout the day? Would he like a little upgrade in his display quality? Tommy's in a situation where he can handle that. Billy is not, which is why if Billy and Tommy are asking me the same question, there are going to be different answers for both of them. Now, like I said, I don't need to hear your monthly income, but could we just slow down or at least stop with the whole, is this worth it? Because anytime someone goes throwing around that W word, I have to respond the same exact way every single time. Worth is subjective. Worth is dependent. Worth is relative. It depends on the situation, people, and that means that I don't really like questions like that where you're kind of setting up the pitch for me to swing with a yes or a no. There's some questions that may be a little bit easier to answer, like when someone asks, should I upgrade from an iPhone 10 to an iPhone 10s? That's it. Those I'll most likely say, I mean, I don't really see why you need to. Maybe there's someone out there who's really, really passionate about the A12 chip and really, really interested in the new HDR settings and the new front-facing 1080p 60 FPS recording on the 10s, and those tiny, tiny little updates are worth it to them, but again, I don't know your day-to-day use. This is bigger than just a financial debate. I don't know what you use your phone for. If you literally spend 90% of your time on your iPhone texting people, using Snapchat, checking email, emails. Yeah, most of you probably don't even need a new iPhone this year, but at the same time, there can be other people in certain financial situations where they can afford to pay $1,000 so that they can upgrade and get those couple extra features and make it a worthy upgrade. For them, I don't know, maybe they like vlogging, maybe they have a gaming channel and they use their front-facing iPhone camera as their face cam, so they see that the XS has that upgrade and they say, yes, upgrading from a 10 to a XS, that's worth it. To me, I'm like, no, there's barely any change there. The reason I upgraded this year was because I wanted a much larger phone with a much bigger battery life, not to mention plenty of other benefits here with the notch taking up less space on the overall display because the display is bigger, but the notch stayed the same size. And I'm probably an example that shouldn't be included in everyday life because I'm a tech reviewer. Even if an iPhone upgrade was extremely minor and barely anything changed, I'd probably have to get it anyway just to give you my thoughts on it and to unbox it and review it and everything like that. So for one, keep in mind that when you guys ask the worth question, you're asking a guy who has to upgrade every year regardless. I'm probably going to at some point get an iPhone XR just for the videos. If we were in hypothetical world and Drew was doing something else and not being a tech YouTuber, would I get a XS Max or a XR? Once again, it's subjective, it's dependent. This alternate reality where I'm not a YouTuber, I don't know my money situation. If I was working back at the Mandarin Ranch where all this started, probably not, because I was working not that many hours a week there and spending $1,100 to $1,000 on smartphones wasn't really the best use of my money. I needed to save that money on more important things or should go back to college and work towards getting a higher paying job. So I was really hoping that with this video, I'd be able to clear all that up and let you guys know. Please slow down or just at least stop with the, is this worth upgrading to? Is it worth upgrading from an iPhone 8 to a 10? Is it worth upgrading from a XS to a... There's not an easy answer to that, especially when you're asking for it to be a yes or a no. It's not worth it. If you want a comparison, that's a different thing. Let me know. Please feel free in the comments to say, like, can you compare something that I'm actually interested in comparing, the iPhone XR to an iPhone 10, the 2017 iPhone 10, not the S model. And that debate could go a little bit interesting because you can find the iPhone 10 used or refurbished for a lot cheaper now. That means that comparing it to the $750 XR, those are a little bit close. But even in that situation, with that comparison video, there will be some things that the iPhone 10 prioritizes and other things that the iPhone XR prioritizes. Both are good at different things, so the answer in the end, if you try to change that video into which one is worth upgrading to, the answer is going to depend again, because the iPhone 10 is going to prioritize that OLED display, that dual camera, that smaller form factor that's more comfortable for some people's hands, whereas the iPhone XR is going to prioritize battery life, the A12 chip, as well as more color options, and the fact that you can get it brand new from Apple and not have to go through some third party. So there will be lots of different things to compare to with those two phones, but once you start throwing around the W word and say which one is worth it, that is completely dependent on the person. So there's no easy answer, there's no yes or no, there's no wrong answer, because all of us use our smartphones and use technology for very different things. That's why companies make so many different versions of iPhones and smartphones, because they're meant to reach different markets. You know, if Apple thought that the iPhone XS and XR were the perfect smartphones for everyone, they wouldn't keep selling the 8 Plus and the 7 Plus. The reason they keep selling that is they know that there are people out there who don't really care about OLED, don't really care about the notch or Face ID. They just need an iPhone running iOS that's going to get a few years of support reliably at the same time each year, and they just want it to work. That's why Apple's still selling the 7 Plus and 8 Plus, and that's why the prices get lower every single year. Apple wants to make sure they can still cater to that market. So for many people out there, even today in 2018, the iPhone 7 Plus is the phone that's most worth their money. They don't need wireless charging, they don't need a glass back, they don't need any of that fancy stuff. They just needed an iPhone with a price that was fair to them, that got them iMessage and got them the iOS ecosystem and got them those years of customer support and reliability. So let's try to slow down with the worth questions if we can, people. But if you want a comparison of two things, maybe we can start doing more of those. I don't know. You guys let me know what you're interested in down in the comments below. This is your Apple Sheep here. I'll see you in the next one.